All right, so welcome. We're here at the Brown Paper Bag Series, and we're very fortunate today to have the Teacher of the Year for the state of Georgia, Mr. Casey Bethel. I am your host, Brandon.
And I'm your co-host, Cole Adatola. We had an opportunity, as Brandon said, to speak with the Teacher of the Year, Mr. Casey Bethel.
Yes.
I know it's probably been a very exciting year for you. Would you like to possibly explain some of your experiences, how it feels, what you've been through, just for the past year or so?
First, thank you guys for inviting me to be a part of this conversation. It's exciting to sit down with gentlemen like you and to discuss the topics that we have on the slate. Being the Teacher of the Year has been an amazing opportunity. It's been eye-opening and also enlightening. I'm humbled by having been chosen, but also honored to be in this role. The State Teacher of the Year has the responsibility of being a spokesperson and representing the concerns and the thoughts of the 115,000 public teachers across the state, something that I don't take lightly. And it's put me in an opportunity to speak on their behalf, to help make policy decisions, but also to motivate and encourage the teachers, the parents, the students, and the broader community across our state, getting everybody excited about education.
I want to find out a little bit more about sort of what got you into education. How did you start off? I know that you had some beginning roots in Fort Valley State University, but how did that sort of shift and go over to teaching? And did you always know that you wanted to be a teacher?
You know, that's a part of my story that's particularly interesting. As I travel, I get to tell the story. I left home at the end of high school thinking that I was going to be a doctor. Left home telling my parents, hey, Mom, I'm going to go be, back then the thing to be was a heart surgeon. I'm going to be a heart surgeon, Mom. And I enrolled at Fort Valley. I'm a proud Fort Valley graduate. I studied pre-medicine, and I was doing good at it. You know, I was accepted to medical schools, but I did not go. I went to graduate school to become a scientist. Along the line, I realized I didn't want to be a doctor. I was only saying that to please my parents. At the time, I thought I was more fit for being a scientist. So I went to the University of Georgia, studied genetics, got my master's degree in genetics, and spent some time as a scientist too. But along that path, I found that also didn't bring me the fulfillment I was seeking. Mm-hmm. And the joke I tell is that I tried out education as an experiment. I told my friends, hey, I'm going to go teach for 1 year while I figure out what to do next. The great part of the story is in that 1 year, I discovered what really gave me the fulfillment I was searching for, what really ignites my passion, and that's teaching. That's been 12 years ago. So I wish I would have chosen teaching from the very beginning.
Now, a little birdie told me that this was not your first time winning Teacher of the Year. Have you actually won previously?
Yeah, so I was Teacher of the Year at my high school in 2009. That's Martin Luther King High School in DeKalb County. At that point, I had been a teacher for 3 years, and it was a tremendous shot to my career to have won that award at that time. It gave me a lot of confidence that what I was doing was making a difference. And really, a lot of people aren't aware how you become State Teacher of the Year. So last year at my new school, at New Manchester High School in Douglasville, I was chosen as the school's Teacher of the Year. Again, it was my second time being a school Teacher of the Year, which put me in a competition against the other teachers in my county, Douglas County. Right. I was chosen as Douglas County's Teacher of the Year, which then put me in a competition against the countywide Teachers of the Year from across the state, 151 school systems across the state. And something about my story got through to the selection committee, and that's how I was chosen as the State Teacher of the Year back in May.
So, in reflecting upon your experiences, I know that you said MLK High School, Martin Luther King High School, which I believe is a Title I school in DeKalb County, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of your experiences in working with students in Title I schools? And the reason why I ask you that is because, you know, I have a lot of conversations not only with teachers, but with pre-service teachers and so forth. And usually, even when you're talking to people outside of the educational space, there's a certain stigma that goes along with Title I schools, right? And you've had a good amount of your experience in that. And so is there something that you can speak to that just kind of describes your experiences, something like that maybe a memory that you have in working with some of those students that stick out to you that you like to share, maybe that you can offer the general public just some other ideas about what public schools and what Title I schools really are.
You know, the thing about Title I schools is this: the designation Title I means that school has a demonstrated, or the students of that school have a demonstrated financial need. How you qualify for being Title I is that the students have their low-income community, from a low-income community, a number of students have free or reduced lunch, and that's the criteria that's used to designate a school as Title I. So, appropriately so, the school is given more funding than other schools to meet those added needs of students: after-school care, additional tutoring programs, additional training for the teachers. But the thing we need to do better about is saying that the designation Title I does not represent the academic ability of that community, of the students at that school. My time at MLK High School, I had the same amount of brilliant students there as I've seen in every other high school as I've traveled this state. The students there are amazingly talented. The fact that they're Title I means that they have a demonstrated financial need, though. That being said, when people hear Title I, the community starts to assume certain things, and if we're not careful, the students can start to assimilate that mindset too, that they're at a low-performing school, low-functioning school, and if we're not careful, they can start to diminish their personal self-esteem, their academic confidence, and things like that. But that's for the community to fix. That's for the adults to fix, the teachers, the parents, the activists, to say, look, this school can still produce brilliant students. I'm at the point now where some of my students from MLK High School 12 years ago have finished college and they're in their careers, and I'm proud of what they've become. 4 or 5 lawyers, 7 or 8 doctors, and a number of other professionals. And let that be the thing that we promote. Let that be the story that we tell. That students, even in those schools, can go on to achieve great things.
It seems like you have a personal way in which you communicate or you get your point across. Do you have a style that you kind of like developed over time, or how did you develop the stage you are now in which you teach people in the way you teach them?
Well, I speak to the heart of people. I try. I think that people don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
And when you speak to the heart of people, it draws them in and want to listen to what you have to say. And that's my emphasis in my classroom with my students, letting them see, look, I care about you as a person and I believe in you. I hear teachers, one of the messages I've been delivering to teachers across the state is this. I hear a lot of teachers say the students will rise to high expectations. And I don't disagree with that. I think that that's true. But it's better to say that students will rise to your level of confidence in them.
Right.
Not a single one of my students will ever question that I am undeniably, immeasurably confident in their ability. And I have to be confident in their ability first, and in enough time, my confidence in them hopefully will become their confidence in themselves, which will fuel them to do the things they need to do to be successful.